Everybody still settling in here this evening. Welcome to the 5th and 6th grade band concert. I'm Mr. Patterson. I have the privilege and pleasure to be the principal of Neil Armstrong Middle School. And tonight I have the pleasure to introduce our 5th and 6th grade band. They're still getting used to the lights. So the spotlight is on you now. So I just want to take 1 minute to recognize Mrs. Scalone and Mr. Nell, and honestly the entire music department here at Bethel Park School District. I've never quite seen something like this here. From the chorus, the strings, the bands, that just about anything you can name. They do an awesome job. So I want to start with really a round of applause for all that they do. A special thank you to everyone out there tonight, friends, family, for coming out, supporting this. Just like sports, activities, everything we do, we need the parents and grandparents to pick the kids up and make this happen. So everything that you do to make this happen is much appreciated. Coming out and support them tonight is a great thing. So without further ado, if at this time you could please silence your cell phones and enjoy the silence of the 5th and 6th grade band. Here's Mrs. Scalone.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rachel Scalone, and I am the 5th and 6th grade band teacher at Neil Armstrong. Thank you so much for coming to our concert this evening. The group in front of you is the 5th grade concert band. We have 4 songs to perform for you, so without any further ado, we're going to bring some students up here to talk about each of our songs.
The first piece that we will be playing for you is called The Star-Spangled Banner. The Star-Spangled Banner is the national anthem of the United States of America. The lyrics come from a poem that was written in 1814 by a 35-year-old poet named Francis Scott Key. The poem was originally entitled Defense of Fort McHenry, which Francis Scott Key wrote after seeing the bombardment of Fort McHenry during the War of 1812. Francis Scott Key's words gave new significance to the American flag and started a tradition through which generations of Americans have invested the flag with their own meanings and memories. We ask that you please rise and remove your hats as we perform the Star-Spangled Banner. Please feel free to sing along.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Just give us a few moments so we can get set up for our jazz band. Can we get another round of applause for the fifth grade? That was fantastic. My name is Jeff Bell, and I am one of the band members here at Armstrong, and I also teach at William Penn Elementary School. So it's really cool to see the kids start all the way to the grade. I was really fortunate that I get to do that. And the sixth graders that you're about to see are actually my first graduating class that I started in fourth grade, so this is really cool night for me too. So I'm going to give you a rundown of a few things that are on our band calendar in the next few weeks. We're wrapping up the school year, but it's still pretty busy for us. Starting with the jazz band, who will be coming down in a few moments. We have a field trip where we're taking the jazz band during the school day on Thursday, May 12th to Benjamin Franklin Elementary School to perform for the students and staff there. Every year we take the jazz band to a different elementary school as part of our recruitment process to get younger kids excited about playing an instrument. And this year we're going to Ben Franklin. They'll leave Neil Armstrong at 8:45 in the morning, so they'll report to school normally, and we'll get them back to Neil just in time for lunch, which I know you're looking forward to as well. So that's coming up on Thursday, May 12th. Parents of jazz band students, hopefully they give you a permission slip. If they haven't, we'll be sending one out via email really soon. Coming up next on Tuesday, May 17th, we are having our percussion day. We had Woodwind Day, then we had Brass Day. We didn't forget about the percussionists. Percussion Day is going to take place, like I said, on May 17th at Neil Armstrong. We're not going to take all of our students and their drums to a retirement home to perform. That might be a bit too much to carry and a bit too loud. But we're going to bring in a professional percussionist named Rich Demmarini. And interestingly enough, Mr. Stallone had him as a band teacher in high school. So this will be a kind of cool movement. He's going to give our students master classes on snare drum, some advanced mallet technique, and some drum set instruction, which is really exciting. We will have a pizza dinner when the master class is finished as well, and we will do a raffle for some percussion prizes. So all percussion students in 5th and 6th grade are welcome to and invited and encouraged to attend this event. And they should have received a permission slip as well. So parents, if you haven't seen that yet, probably send that out via email as well too. Something that our 6th grade is currently doing is selecting a solo or a duet to play for their band class. Our solo duet game is something that we do every year to encourage students to grow their musicality and their confidence on their instrument. So they're choosing their own solo. Many people are choosing Disney movie melodies or things from video games or just a lot of stuff from different method books. And they'll perform that for their peers in their classroom, which is a really cool experience for them because they don't often get to choose the music that we play. In this instance, they do, so they're very excited about that. The first performance days actually start next week, I believe, so hope you guys are practicing. It's coming up. We have one more performance for our band. The music assembly in Armstrong is on Wednesday, May 25th. The chorus, orchestra, and bands at each grade level will play for the students in that grade level. So it's a great chance for our students to share out with their peers and their friends all the different things that they're doing. So 5th grade will play in the morning on that day, and the 6th grade will play in the afternoon. So guys, keep working on your concert music because we get to play it for your school very soon. So parents, help to remind your students to bring their instruments of music to school on Wednesday, May 25th. And before, I think we're just about ready, jazz band students, can you guys start coming down this way and come on up these stairs here and find your seats? Before we turn this over to the jazz band, I'd like to say a few quick thanks. Our sound engineer here tonight, Jeff Smith, is recording our concert. And I believe we also have BPTV here too recording our concert. So we'll have video and audio recordings to share with you. And I wanted to thank Jeff for coming up and doing that. Also, my family and friends for supporting me and dealing with my crazy schedule. And lastly, the fellow directors here for their assistance and their professionalism helping us out, and especially Mrs. Stallone for accepting me as a person who has a messy desk and being a great colleague and friend. So our jazz band's on the way back up, and we'll be ready to play for you shortly. Thank you.
Okay, the group that we have in front of you is the 6th grade jazz band. We've been meeting every Thursday after school, and we have several songs to perform for you. During the course of our time together, we've been learning jazz in the style of swing, rock. We have some Latin tunes that we've been working on. And once again, we have 4 songs to perform for you. So we're going to bring up some script readers to talk to you about each song.
First piece of the jazz band playing music is called Satin Rock. It goes by 2000 and arranged by Marcus Sweeney. Written in 1953, the song has been recorded countless times by such artists as Ella Fitzgerald and Frank Sinatra. The lyrics of Satin Doll were written after the song was already a hit in its instrumental version. Duke Ellington used Satin Doll as the closing number at most of his concerts. Please sit back and enjoy Satin Doll.
I'd like to take a minute to recognize our soloists. Let's give a round of applause for Anna Cunningham. Olivia Magnu. Dylan Bernishing. Allie Scarlett. And lastly, featuring our trombone player on piano, Ben Tucker. Will Smith. Megan Cunningham. Reggie Schaefer. Gary Olsbach. Brendan Rich. Claudia Mako. And Maddie Field.
The next piece that the sixth grade jazz band will be performing for you is called Just a Closer Walk with Me, arranged by Johnny Vincent. Just a Closer Walk with Me is a traditional gospel song that has been covered by many artists, performed as either an instrumental or a vocal arrangement. Just a Closer Walk is one of the most frequently played number in the hymn and dirt section of traditional New Orleans jazz band. The first part of the song features a 18-minute opera with clarinet, trumpet, horn, trombone, tuba, and drum set solos. Feel free to clap your hands and tap your toes as we perform Just a Closer Walk with Me.
Thank sixth grade band come on up to the stage. And before we hear the sixth grade band, I'm here to thank you, parents. It's you along with other family members, grandparents, etc., who made all of this work, everything you see on the stage here tonight. You're the ones who rent the instrument, you buy all those reeds when they get broken, you buy the new drum sticks, which are just so cool because they're purple. You're the ones who get private lessons or take them to the music store to get a book of Star Wars music written specifically for the bass clarinet. And you're the ones who take them to the early morning rehearsals that make this concert possible. Most importantly, we want to thank you because it's you who care about the kids' artistic learning, in addition to them playing music and expressing themselves, in addition to their academic classes and the athletics they do. The arts are that final piece that completes a well-rounded education, and it allows you to get all of what Bethel Park has to offer to you and your children. Last year when I was teaching fourth grade band to these kids, one of the fourth graders told me in a lesson last year, and this is a quote, "Playing my instrument calms me." She said that, and I said, that's great. And then after the lesson was over, I thought, that's what it does when I play my instrument too. And that's how music is. Music feeds the soul. I was talking a moment ago about a well-rounded education. And some folks who have gotten a well-rounded education all the way through high school, some of the best role models in our school district, incidentally, is our high school band and orchestra and choir students. And you might know, they just got back on Monday from their 5-day trip to Chicago. You know those trips. It was paid for by all those Bethel Park band homies that were so good about life. Yes, that's how Bethel Park. And thank you for buying it for advertising. So many of you probably heard that our Bethel Park kids did a great job in the competition. Bethel Park, choir, band, and orchestra were first place in all the categories. So like they always do, high school kids here at Bethel Park gave great performances. But music, if you talk to them, they'll tell you that music is about more than that. It's about working towards a goal with others. It's about enjoying the experience, enjoying an art form, and doing it with other people, doing it with your friends. And that's the fundamental thing about music. The same reason these kids do. It's a great thing to do with your friends. I'll just have a few more things to say before we turn over to the sixth grade band. Music, as you may know, is both product and also process. This concert is these kids' product. It's what they put out in public. But music is even more so about the process. It's about practicing and rehearsing and teamwork and working towards excellence that go into the music. And so I hope your students, these 5th and 6th graders, will continue to have all of these opportunities and the opportunities that those high school kids have. And I look forward to hearing them on the IMS stage in a year or two, and at the high school a few years after that. So just to come back to where I started, I want to thank you again, parents and guardians, who make music at Bethel Park what it is. And let's sit back and enjoy the 6th grade.
The group in front of you is the 6th grade concert band. We have 4 songs once again to play for you, so here we go.
The first piece that the 6th grade concert band will be playing for you is called Fanfare on a Theme of Imagination, composed by Brian Malpages. Brian Malpages wanted to emphasize imagination and creativity, especially among the younger generation, by composing this piece. He received inspiration from the following quote by Albert Einstein: "Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination serves to fulfill." And today we're about to learn this about how powerful creativity and imagination can be. Virtual has about putting the imagination and creativity into nature. Here is Fanfare on a Theme of Imagination.
Here is Star Band.
All right, a couple of thank yous and final announcements before we play our last song for you this evening. I want to take an opportunity to recognize 5 students who represented Bethel Park back in March when they attended Elementary District Band. This is an event where a group of students from each school district in Allegheny County get together and they rehearse and they perform a concert. And luckily, 5 of our students were selected by a selection committee to perform in this event. And I would like to recognize those 5 students and give them official district band pins as a memento for performing in district band back in March. So hold your applause until the end. I'd like to start by recognizing Braden Lloyd. Reggie Schaefer. Maddie Field. Ben Tucker. And Abby Wright. All right, now on to the thank yous. I'd like to start by thanking my band students, my 5th and 6th grade band students. 6th grade, this is our last concert together. I always do this. And I'm really going to miss you next year. And please know that I have had a pleasure working with you these past 2 years. And before we know it, it's going to be summer and you're going to move on to IMS. So please know that we've had a lot of fun together. You are an outstanding group, and I wish you the best as you go on to IMS next year. So let's give our 6th grade a round of applause. I also want to thank my 5th grade band. You guys are also an outstanding group, and I'm so excited to work with you again next year. So thank you for a wonderful performance today. Band students, I think that there are some people, many people out in the audience that we need to thank. Can we give a round of applause to your parents and family members? Parents, I couldn't do the job that I do without your support and encouragement for our band program. Thank you so much for all of those pickups and drop-offs for rehearsals, especially those jazz band parents that stand in that line every Thursday. Thank you so much. It really means more than you know to me, because we can't have an outstanding band program like we do in Bethel Park without the support of our community and from you parents. So I'm giving you a round of applause. Thank you so much for your support. It means more than you know. I also would like to take an opportunity to thank our new superintendent, Dr. Pasquarella. I also like to thank our former superintendent, Mrs. Rose, for all of their support. I'd also like to thank the school board, our high school staff, and stage crew for working the lights and helping us with our concert this evening. I also, yes, let's give a round of applause. I'd also like to thank my principals, Mr. Patterson and Ms. Morris, for all of their supports. Let's give them a round of applause. Mr. Patterson has been incredibly supportive, and he's always coming up and saying, what can I do to help you? What do you need? And it means a lot to have a principal principal like that. So thank you, Mr. Patterson. I'd also like to thank our staff at Neil Armstrong. We had an in-school rehearsal today, and they were gracious enough to let me pull the students from 2 of their classes today, so I thank the Neil Armstrong staff for that, as well as the Neil Armstrong PTO and Bob McCormick. They do have a special treat afterwards. They graciously brought ice cream for all family members and all audience members and the students. So on your way out this evening, feel free to stop by and grab some ice cream. Thank you, Bob McCormick. Really appreciate the ice cream. And I'd like to thank some directors as well. Dan Hilty was my sub back in the fall when I was on maternity leave, and you may remember him from the winter concert. He was from the end of September all the way through December, and even though he's not able to be here this evening, he did an amazing job with my students when I was gone. So a big thank you to Mr. Hilty. And other directors that are helping out this evening, I'd like to recognize Mr. Michael Petrossi, our curriculum facilitator. Mr. Aaron Bose. Mr. Zach Cable. Mr. Keith Borg. I saw Mr. Thompson. I don't know if he's still here, but thank you, Mr. Thompson, Chad Thompson. And last but certainly not least, my partner in crime, Mr. Jeff Nell. Mr. Nell does a wonderful job with our band program, and once again, I couldn't do this without him. He is incredibly supportive, extremely talented, and thank you for all that you do, Mr. Nell. Thank you very much. And just a very short personal thank you. I'd like to thank my parents. They put together all 500 programs for tonight's concert, so thank you, Mom and Joe, thank you. And also to my husband, who is out there with Edie Jacob. Thank you for all of your support as I have rehearsals day in and day out. And I love you both, and thank you for being here this evening. And I'm going to hand the microphone over to a student that wanted to sing. Then we'll play our final song for you.
We've really enjoyed having Mrs. Stone as our band teacher this year. She's made it so much fun for us and has made us all better students. We've learned so much from her, and we will really miss her next year. We want to thank her for giving us